Welcome. This is another video on money printing. For those who have not gone through our previous videos, this is a brief and we value your comments and suggestions as well. Let's begin with today's video. There are two main ways by which central bank can issue new money to the economy. Those are by way of increasing net foreign assets and by increasing net domestic assets. Central bank can increase net foreign assets, which has been depicted in using green color. One is by purchasing foreign exchange in local forex market. The other one is when the government gets grants and donations, and when those are being sold to central bank, it also issues currency. Next main method is by increasing net domestic assets and issue money. That has been depicted in blue color. There are three main ways. First one is by monetary policy operations. Under that, there are two main components. First is open market operations. When central bank injects money by purchasing government securities, there will be an issuance of money. Second thing is by lending using standing lending facility rates to licensed commercial banks. Second thing is under increase of net domestic assets is monetary financing. With the implementation of new Central Banking Act in September 2023, Central Bank is being prohibited in relation to purchase of government securities primarily. However, provisional advances could be accommodated, however, that is also restricted. Third one is central bank can issue money by way of operations and emergency financing to banks. Next thing is there's no direct measure to check the issuance of money. However, there's an indicator, that is change in reserve. That means change in reserve money indicates an increase of money or issuance of money in the economy. Reserve money is also being known as base money and high powered money. Reserve money includes money with the public and money with the licensed commercial banks and LCB deposits with central bank and also government agency deposits with central bank, and all those includes in reserve money. In 2024, during the first 6 months, we can see an increase of reserve money by 88.9 billion. It is mainly contributed by increase of net foreign assets. As we previously discussed, that's by way of purchasing forex in local foreign exchange market. This is the audited central bank balance sheet as at 31st August. Here we can see assets of central bank, foreign exchange assets. Those are mainly foreign currency and also gold reserves, and it totals into LKR over 2100 LKR. as of August 31st. In the case of liabilities, which includes IMF liabilities as well, totaling to over 2.2 billion LKR, 2.2 trillion LKR. So this is the balance sheet of CBSL as of 31st August. Now, in this infographic, it depicts foreign debt repayments as of 2020. It is being recorded as over 4 billion USD as per the Ministry of Finance and Central Bank reports issued in 2020. So what matters here is by 2028 we need to service our foreign debt, capital and interest, and we can expect that payments will be totally into somewhere around at least 5 billion USD per annum. Now we will be considering some of the indicators during the first 9 months in 2024. When we consider trade balance, that's trade deficit of 4.2 billion USD. Actually, this is not a good indicator. However, this was there prior to the crisis situation as well, since our imports are very much higher than the export income. So we need to focus more on our exports such as tea and apparel. Only thing, now when we consider import aspect, mainly fuel and essential food imports are there. When our rupee value appreciates, those expenses will be reduced. However, we do not see there's an impact for the public, as there is no considerable increase of imported item prices. On the other hand, we can see our tea and apparel prices will be less competitive in the foreign markets, as the USD has been depreciated considerably. So this is also not a good sign, and we need to have our exchange rate without large fluctuations. So when we consider inflows except tourist earnings, we mainly get import income by air and sea transportation activities and IT and consulting activities. However, during the last 9 months, income has been little bit reduced compared to the previous year during the same period. So we need to consider our other income increase as well. In the case of workers' remittances, we can see it has been recorded an improvement, and the value is over 4.8 billion USD for the last 9 months, and that's a good sign. And we need to facilitate workers' remittances by way of providing them timely passports, and we can accommodate them with job agreements with foreign countries, so that we can secure more jobs and more remittance income as well. In the case of tourist earnings, that also has been recorded a positive growth, and it was around 2.3 billion USD for the last 9 months, and we can see an increase of tourist arrivals as well. When we consider 2023, for January to September, it was only 10 lakhs. However, in 2024, during the period of January to September, it was over 14 lakhs, and that's a good sign. And we need to focus on tourists from high income countries as well. In the case of government security market, we can identify net outflow, and that was around 256 million USD. However, this is being partly set of by net inflow in our SEC investments. In the case of official reserves, it has been recorded around 6 billion USD with the soft facility of People's Bank of China, and that's a good sign, and we need to focus more on accumulating foreign reserves. Exchange rate, it was recorded around 323 in end of December last year. However, as of September end, it was around 299. Here we need to consider gradual or exchange rate without large fluctuations, because when we have a positive impact on import expenses, on the other hand we will be losing export competitiveness in foreign markets. So we need to strike a balance, and we need to consider those dependents in sectors such as tea, rubber and coconut industries, as well as large workforce available in apparel industry, and for them appreciation of rupee largely is not beneficial. As we said, outflow of government security investments have been partly set off by foreign investments. Net inflow of 43 million USD for the last 9 months in the case of CSE foreign investments net inflow. This is a good sign, and we need to attract more investment to our CSE. Finally, we can focus on, as we said, international reserves was around 6 billion USD as of end September, and we consider import coverage of gross official reserves, it was around 4 months of imports. That means reserves are sufficient for accommodating 4 months of imports. However, this is a good sign, and we need to increase this up to at least 6 months of imports. On the other hand, we need to focus more on investments such as portfolio investments as well as foreign direct investments FDIs other than foreign loans. And by 2025 we will be accommodating foreign imports of vehicles, so that we need to have sufficient reserves built up. And also by 2028 we will be starting debt servicing as well, capital and interest, and those will be, as we discussed previously, around 5 billion USD, and we have to have sufficient reserves to accommodate this. Finally, Central Bank Act of 2023 now reduced or prohibited government financing. However, there is a provision for provisional advances, and that has also been limited, and that's also a good sign. And on the other hand, public debt management, which is currently with central bank, will be transferred to 2025 onwards to another agency with the enactment of Public Debt Management Act of 2024. That is also a good sign. And finally, we can identify that with the IMF extended fund facility, fiscal consolidation program will be there, and financial performance of government will be improved. And all in all, central bank more autonomy will be there, and money printing is their business, and there's no issue on that. However, money printing should be controlled in order to avoid excessive inflation, as hyperinflationary effects will be destructive, which has also been experienced in some countries such as Germany long way back. And this should be in line with economic activities. So we'll be concluding with today's session, and we invite you to share this video among your colleagues, those who are interested.